one thing that people might not know about you is that you speak 8 languages. Am I missing one?
Depends what you mean by speak. Some better than others.
Okay. All right, but among them, Norwegian and Maltese, which has a lot of X's in it and all kinds of things. So, I was thinking, like, could you say something in one of them? And I'm like, here we are, and I didn't want to make it, too easy, but something like, I don't know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Oh, wow. Yeah, let's see. In Maltese, it'd be something like Stada fi Vegas, Bai fi Vegas, I think. A bunch of Maltese people are going to tweet me how I got that wrong yet.
Yeah, there's no winning on this one, by the way.
And Norwegian, det som skjedde på Vegas ska ligga där. I don't know. Any Norwegians here? I don't know.
You couldn't get immediately.
As far as everybody here knows, that was right.
Okay.
I hope.
So which of them? Because when people hear 8 languages, most of us speak one, or we struggle to kind of comprehend a second. What was the hardest to learn?
Maltese is actually really hard because it's this mix. So my father immigrated from Malta. It's one of the smallest countries in the world. It's got its own language, and it's a mix of everything. It's a Semitic language. It's got parts of Arabic in it. There's a bunch of Italian and some English going on. Like the basic way to say hello in Maltese is to say all right, and thank you in Maltese is thank you, and but you also say grazie, which is Italian. It's like a whole, but the languages that are the most different from English are obviously the most challenging, and you don't get to practice a lot of them.
No, I know. Well, like I say, it's all those X's. Like, is there a time, though, that you can think where knowing one of these languages helped you help someone else?
Yeah, I remember the day the travel ban went into effect. And we were in Houston. At the time, I was seeking to be DNC chair and decided to go down and participate in the protests on the travel ban. And there was a rumor going that an Iranian family had been caught up in the situation, that they were being caught at customs and weren't being allowed through because of the ban. Anyway, we were there at the terminal, and there was this amazing scene. It was a protest that had been organized almost on the spot by a young woman who was a server at a Carrabba's. It showed you the power of online organizing. And within a few hours, hundreds of people were at the airport, and we were there calling for the travel ban to be lifted. And then there was a stay, I think, in court. And so this family started coming through, and they were being mobbed by TV reporters. And I realized that they might not have had any idea of why there were all these protests or cameras or anything. So I went up and I learned to deploy to Afghanistan. I learned Dari, which is kind of like Farsi, which is the language of Iran. So I see this man emerge, kind of Middle Eastern appearance. His wife is in a hijab. They got 3 or 4 little kids, a bunch of suitcases. They look exhausted. And I went up to him and started trying to ask, are you okay? Do you understand what's happening? Do you need any help? Everybody's here to support you. And the more I tried to say this in Farsi, the clearer it became that he didn't understand me at all. And then I realized he was an Arabic speaker, and I studied Arabic in college. I'm not very good at it, but I'd studied it, and had this conversation. He had no idea what was going on. He was actually Jordanian, and he just wanted to go home. And meanwhile, because I'm wearing a tie, the reporters from one of the local TV stations think that I'm his lawyer, and they start interviewing me. And one of them was from Telemundo, which was in Spanish, and they were asking me to try to ask him questions in Arabic, which I'm not that good at, and they were asking me in Spanish. And it was a real mess, but in the end, I just realized there was this crowd chanting and cheering, and they didn't know what was going on, so I just grabbed the luggage cart to help him and his wife and just got him out of there to the garage where his cousin was waiting to pick him up.
Got him where he was going.
Yeah.
All right, I want to